If there was ever going to be a special occasion of when I would use the term absolute cinema for the first time in this show, I don't know how to feel knowing that I used it to describe these. So, Ben 10. Yeah, that show. Hell, I was obsessed with it when I was a kid. I grew up during its golden era, and then suddenly it pretty much just vanished out of my memory bank for a few years during the show's long-term absence from Cartoon Network. Until this. We don't talk about this. But the original show, then Alien Force, then Ultimate Alien, and I guess a bit of Omniverse, I freaking loved it, man. Quickly for the uncultured, Ben 10 is a sci-fi action animated series focusing on the character of Ben Tennyson, grade A name by the way, and his summer adventures with his cousin Gwen and their grandfather Max. On their first night of the trip, Ben stumbles across a mysterious alien watch that fell from the sky as it suddenly latches onto his wrist, unable for him to take off. Ben realises that the watch, called the Omnitrix, gifts him the power to transform into 10 uniquely different alien species for him to defend the Earth from ongoing hostile alien invasions throughout the summer. And that's the show to the briefest extent. And it slaps. So I don't know if Cartoon Network had a time machine and wanted to take a page from Disney's book in 2019, but alas, live action remake. Ben 10 Race Against Time first aired on Cartoon Network in 2007 and was directed by fucking Alex Winter of all people. Okay folks, hold on to your hats, Bill Preston is helming the directing duties. This will be interesting. So the film takes place following on from that fateful summer as seen in the original show, with Ben and Gwen returning to school only, of course, some time-travelling alien overlord comes into the picture to cause some low-budget havoc. Said alien overlord is Eon, who, stay with me here, is an evil alternate version of Ben from the future. What? Now I can't lie, rewatching this was so goddamn nostalgic. I freaking loved this as a kid, man. But of course, upon rewatch as a 23-year-old film graduate, yeah. Now I think old Alex did a decent job with what he was given. Same with the actors, I guess. They seemed like they were having a ball. But yeah, it's the script that's the problem, man. Like, there's a scene where they visit one of Max's old friends whose life force has been fully taken away from him, and the dude is on death's door, and once he actually dies, all the characters are literally just like,
oh no! Anyway.
Another issue is just the abysmal lines of dialogue. It's so much easier to identify just how bad it is because the film is live action. It just feels more appropriate for characters to deliver these words in an animated format, where realism isn't prolific to capture. Hope that made sense. And do I have to talk about the visual effects?
Dear God.
There's more.
No.
Grey Matter made sense, I guess, because the dude's tiny, but come on, even if the CGI would be shit, we could have had goddamn live action forearms, you cowards. Also, Wildmar. Holy shit. Remember when The Rock was the Scorpion King? Yeah, he's a Ben 10 alien now. Speaking of which, we're on a race against time ourselves, so let's move on to...
What are you doing here? Well, I had a sudden urge to ship something overnight, and suddenly we're up to our neck in your girlfriend's chips. And that's right about the time that you came along and annihilated my car.
Ben 10 Alien Swarm, a standalone sequel to Race Against Time, serves as a live-action adaptation of Ben 10 Alien Force, which itself is the follow-up series to the original show. Still with me so far? So one thing I forgot to mention about the first film, it's 67 minutes long, and Ben transforms 4 times into an alien. Now a standard episode from the original show, all of which were about 20 minutes long, would see Ben transform at least twice at max, sometimes once, maybe 3 if we're lucky. Same applies to Alien Force. Now for Alien Swarm, it's in fact a little bit longer than the first film, and must have had at least a bigger budget. But Ben transforms only 3 times, with one of those times during the final battle, and he transforms into an alien created specifically for the film. Yeah, it's just a little pet peeve, nothing too drastic. At the very least, they choose Humongosaur for one of the 2 aliens from the show, which is my favourite of that group of 10. And that scene is quite cool, can't lie. Okay, praise is over. The dialogue is still... yeah, better suited for animation. Better performances than before, Winter again helming directing, and dude seemed he was having a ball. Special effects,
Dear God.
still shit, but better. But I don't know, I prefer Race Against Time. It just feels more Ben 10. And yes, I wasn't expecting either films to be top tier grade A masterpieces to sweep the Oscars. But I don't know, man, both feel so bland. Especially Alien Swarm. Plus, the only emotion conveyed in either films is Kevin's deep sexual lust for his car. The dude is left grieving at the end of the film. Yeah, both films as adaptations are pretty weak. Yes, the characters are there, the aliens are there, the watch is on the wrist, but they're just not as exciting as the original shows. Plus, one other thing to add, they did Gwen so goddamn dirty as a character. She barely does anything in either films. She's just there because it's supposed to be Ben 10. But oh my god, I will watch these again. Maybe in time I will come to appreciate them. Maybe they're just misunderstood. Maybe certain factors will finally make sense in my mind. And maybe I will see these films as underrated gems that act as cinematic works of appreciation for such a fun classic show. No, I'm going to watch them because it's nostalgic. Screw you.